Hello friends and welcome to the Rocky Mountain Crafter. I am using Lindy's Magicals today. So these are very saturated powders that you mix with water. And I'm just using a plain piece of paper, not even cardstock, just laser copy paper. And I'm just trying to pick colors here that I have that might match this paper. So I got a new stamp set, but we're moving. I got the Lindy's Magicals, but we're moving. So I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone just because I have so many things on the go and I wanted to play, but I wanted to play with all my products. So I'm mixing and matching today for that reason. So I've got a silicone mat down here and I'm just spreading out with my water brush. I'm just spreading out some water onto the silicone mat. Then taking a fan brush, I go into those Lindsay Magical powder colors. And one of the colors that I'm using is called Tainted Love Teal, Hagwort Orange, and Screamin' Banshee Black. And these are from the Haunted Halloween set that I have. Then I'm just taking that white piece of laser copy paper, that's all it is laser copy paper, and picking up those colors. Look at the beautiful saturation in there. And anywhere that there was a white spot, I'm just trying to fill in those gaps by putting it back into the pool of color until I'm finally happy with the outcome. And for this one, I think that's pretty good. I think there's just a couple white spots here that I try to fill in. But I didn't want this to go to waste either, so I took that water pen again. And this time I take my fan brush and I am actually spreading it all out in a controlled manner. And anytime I felt like it was getting muddy, I stopped and just did it somewhere else, cleaned my brush off in between so that it wouldn't be muddy. And then I'm taking a clean piece of laser copy paper, putting it down into there, and again, just repeating the process of picking up the color in a controlled manner until it's all over the paper. The paper is mostly covered. Now, in the end, this one did turn out quite a bit lighter than the other one. Here, I'm taking a ceramic tile that I have, and I'm just going to hold those down with some tweezers and blow dry those. And so I don't show you all of me blow drying them with the heat tool, but I do flip flop them. I pick them up. I do the fronts. I do the backs. If your paper starts to curl, you can flip it over and do the back, and then it will uncurl and start to curl the opposite way. So I just kept doing that over and over. And here I am happy with that. Did you see that shimmer and shine on there? Oh my word, it's amazing. So here I'm taking my Precision Press by We Are Memory Keepers. And I'm taking the stamp set by Catherine Pooler, Happy Camper stamp set. And I am putting onto the back of here just regular Scotch tape so that I can pick the whole set up all at once. I want to do this whole set all at once. I don't want to fiddle around with taking them off and placing them on my plate. I just want to do the whole thing at once, and this is the easiest way to do it without taking them off of the plastic. And so using Memento black ink, I just push that down onto the cardstock. This is actual Catherine Pooler cardstock. And there I have a beautiful image. Then before I color, I think about coloring, but then I figure I want to put some stars and a night sky onto this panel first. So I take my Juniper Mist by Catherine Pooler, and I'm just going around all the edges with a blending brush, and I'm just blending that blue Juniper Mist very lightly into all the edges. I don't want to take away from the gorgeousness of this night sky at all, like the shimmer and shine. I don't want to cover it up at all, but I do want it to appear like a night sky. So I just do a very light hand around the edge. Now here I'm taking some acrylic paint, literally just dollar store acrylic paint. I added 4 drops of water from my paintbrush there, and I'm just mixing it with that fan brush. Then I take a piece of scrap copy paper and cover the bottom half of this, and then I sprinkle on with the fan brush just to make it look like stars of a night sky. And when I'm happy with how that comes out, I remove the paper and take a look at the results here. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I love it. These magicals, they are magical. So there is no fancy technique to my coloring. I'm taking a brown for wood, an orange for the fire, and so on and so on. I do a darker color right around the edge. And on the tent, I do a bit of a technique, which I will show you But here I'm just going in and doing a darker edge. So like basically 2 layers of the same color right on the edge. That's it. There's nothing fancy to my coloring. And I do the same with the wood, the same with I don't even know what it is, if it's a fox or a raccoon or what it is, and the marshmallow and the stick and the canvas tent and the stump. You'll see me, I do all of that. There's nothing special to it. On the blue canvas tent and in the middle of that log, I do take a 0 Copic marker, so that's the alcohol, and I just do the middle of that log. You can see it's lightened up, and the middle of this canvas tent and the edges there where it's blue, just to make it look like the fire is hitting it. But that's all there is to it. So easy. Then I take the coordinating dies and I put this yellow, oh, this tape is amazing. This yellow tape is amazing. You guys need to have it for your die cutting. It's so good. And I use my Sizzix Sidekick just to cut these out. Then I start putting the layout together so that I can know where I want to put my sentiment. Once I have the layout laid out on my card, I put it all back into my precision press, the whole thing, and I get my sentiment centered and lined up. And then I ink my sentiment up with Versamark and with some Wow embossing powder in white. I just do the sentiment in white embossing powder. Here before I do all that, I'm putting on my de-static tool just to make sure that we don't want any wayward embossing powder. So here's the white embossing powder, and I'm just putting that on there, and there is no wayward static embossing anywhere, which is perfect. With my heat tool, I am melting the embossing powder. I take my ATG gun here, my 2-way tape, and I'm putting that onto a scrap piece of cardstock because, as I said, this was paper. So I'm just backing it onto cardstock so that it's less flimsy and that it lays flat, both reasons. And that works perfectly. That's a good way to save on paper. Like, I don't have good watercolor paper right now, so that was a good way to do it. Then I'm just taking glue and gluing down all these pieces. Some of them I use regular glue on so that they're in the background, and some of them I do use 3D tape on, foam tape, so that they're in the foreground. And then once all that is done, I back this whole panel onto black because the black just ties it all in, like the black outline of the stamps. And here I am making my own card base. So card bases standard come in like a white or a black, but not really other colors. And I wanted something to tie in the blues in this card. So here I've pulled a navy blue, and I just have this in my all-in-one tool by We Are Memory Keepers, and I've lined it all up, and I'm just cutting it. And this was a 12 by 12 piece of paper. I'm just cutting it to fit this card perfectly. Now I need to score this at 12. And so I'm flipping that piece over. There you can see it bumps up to that bumper stopper. If I put it this way, it can go, and now the bumper stopper's on the other side, but you can also put it upside down. See the bumper stopper here? It sticks out a little bit and it stops the paper from going right through. So that's what I want, is to have it so that the paper doesn't go right through, it stops. Here I'm showing you that here I put it down so it can go right through now, but I'm flipping it over so that the bumper stopper is facing me, and then my paper can stop up against it and I can put a score mark into it at the 6-inch mark, which is exactly what I do here. It comes with this bone folder, and so it's real easy just to pull out the bone folder it comes with, which fits right into the all-in-one tool. Right there, easy access, put the score line in, and there I very easily and quickly made my own card base. I love this all-in-one tool. I use it all the time. Here I am just putting some liquid glue onto the back of my card panel and adhering the whole thing to the card base in navy blue, which completely coordinates with the card. And with that, I am very happy. Look at the shimmer on this card. I really love the orange here around the fire, how that just worked out, gives it that glow, but also how it coordinates with the sky, so it ties it all in together. And to purposely do the canvas tent in colors that will coordinate with the background, because we have like the same kind of bluish purple here as we do in the canvas tent, but then to also put a border around it that is the same color, and it just ties it all together. But I think I want maybe a little bit of bling, so I'm going to put you guys on pause and see what I can find. I do love the shimmer to this card though. It is just gorgeous. So you guys have seen my videos before. You know my go-to bling when I don't have something is Kitchen Sink by Catherine Pooler. It literally has a little bit of everything in it. So here I've pulled some teeny tiny stars, and I am just adhering those to the card panel, and it just gives it just a little tiny bit of extra something that just fits in perfectly with the night sky. Now this is why these are called magical powders right here. You cannot see any of that shimmer here, but when you put it onto an angle is when that beautiful magic shows up. Just look at this. How gorgeous. I thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoy my videos. I am the Rocky Mountain Crafter. Please do hit the like and subscribe button, and you can find me at the Rocky Mountain Crafter on Instagram, Facebook.com, and YouTube. Take care. Bye-bye.